Get ready for hot takes and insight from local industry experts in real estate, business, and lifestyle. He used to play ball with the Padres. He played hockey for the Lobos. Now they're crushing it in the real estate game. Together, they'll showcase the best of the Duke City. This is All About You, ABQ.
Oh, that's right, it is all about YouABQ. Now, the goal of the show is to highlight the best of our city's industry experts in real estate, culture, and lifestyle so that you walk away with some value and feeling inspired. Now, the way we like to do that is to answer the questions you may have or interview the guests you want to see. So we invite you to join the conversation. You can reach out using our hashtag up here or join our email list to get some timely tips about our community and real estate market. Hey, I'm Skip Adams, owner of Sold by Skip Real Estate Brokerage, and obviously I'm handling the heavy lifting this week, but I'm happy to be here with you. Here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. We're joined in studio by Kevin Maharaj, the CEO and founder of K9 Multimedia here in Albuquerque. And it's a cool company in the fact that they're located here downtown, and they've received creator awards from YouTube. They're one of the only companies in the state that have over 100,000 subscribers and reached over 50 million views on YouTube. And as a YouTuber, I can say that's a tough feat. And so we're excited to have him on here. They're responsible for some awesome viral videos that have gone out around some brands here locally. And we're going to talk about some ways that we can interact and kind of grow our brand and meet some of the younger generation and see what they're doing differently and kind of help us grow. But yeah, so it's going to be a great episode. Obviously, we're going to do a little bit of a current events, talk about some market updates, and then stay tuned. We're going to get into Skip's tips, everybody's favorite. But you're probably saying to yourself, God, dude, what's something about you? What is it? What are you glowing right now? Yes, I have a golden bronze tan. I went to the Hawaiian Islands. Now, in our industry, it's so tough to break away and take a vacation because if you have a cell phone, there's nowhere to hide. Clients are going to be calling you for showings, real estate stuff, and so it's always hard to break away and get out of town. So last year, we planned a family trip to Hawaii. Now, this is the first family trip that we've taken in, God, I don't even know how long. Now, we've done some getaways or whatever, but we were gone for a full week out to Hawaii, and the girls, Birdie turned 3 in Hawaii, and so we got to explore Kauai. And beautiful place. I had never been to Hawaii, and it's one of those opportunities where there was just enough, I had all the business squared away so that when I got there, basically left my phone in the room and just went in and explored the islands. Dude, something I never knew about Hawaii is that they have chickens. They don't have seagulls or like pigeons or like, stuff that you're used to. They just have wild chickens running around and thousands of wild chickens everywhere you go. And the Hawaiian word for chicken is moa. And we all learn that because even if you get rid of this chicken, here comes some moa. You can write that down. But either way, we stayed at a fantastic resort, which I have to say, if you're taking kids on a vacation, go to one of these resorts that has the pool, it's right on the water. And the swimming pool that we had was, this massive swimming pool for adults, and then the kids pool had its own water slide. It was amazing. Mark, can you pull up that link of what the resort looked like? Right there on the water, and you can see what the pool looks like if you scroll down a little bit. But just a massive pool, sick views, and nice accommodation. I'm just saying, this is sharing where we were for the last week. So one of those opportunities to just unplug and kind of do some exploring. Hawaii, turns out, is expensive. And so if you're trying to save money, this is not the state to go visit. My wife and I just made a pact. We took one credit card with us and just, anytime we went out to eat or anything, just handed them the card. I don't want to see what it costs because we had an emergency breakfast at McDonald's. We had to pull over and get something quick. The girls were screaming, and it was, an Egg McMuffin and coffee was like $50. So put that into context for you. Really relaxing vacation, though. It's good to be back. So yes, if you do not adjust your screens, I am tan and golden. But that was good, man. So it was good to unplug. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about some changes in Albuquerque. There is a new king in town when it comes to pizza. Now, if you know me, I love a green chili pepperoni pizza slice. And I think that Matucci's sourdough pizza was by far the best pizza in town. But there is a new place that we discovered, Giamani's, over here in Uptown. It's a slice bar, so they don't sell, I don't think they sell full pies. You just go and order a slice. But they have got it figured out. The right texture, the right crisp, the right toppings. And I think you only get 4 options. You don't really get to customize. You just want 1 through 4 options. Or you can get a flight of slices. And I'm not into fancy slices or whatever, but these are exactly the right texture, sweetness, crunch, spice, everything rolled into one pizza slice. It was one of those things where everybody at the table, we took a bite and nobody said a word. We just sat there chewing, staring at each other, like nodding our heads. And I go, my wife at the same time, like, you got to try this one. And so everybody's just like passing slices around. So each slice we had was by far the best pizza in town, by far. And I know that's a bold statement, but there is a new king in town. So Jumani's, congratulations, man. Thanks for doing it right. Nice place to go in, order. We had the kids running around on the patio, so it was a good experience overall in Uptown. So if you ever get a chance, the funny thing was we were sitting outside because we had the kids, and my youngest daughter Elle was on my lap, and she's on my lap, so I can't really see what she's doing. All of a sudden, just starts screaming. I'm looking around like, what happened? And then I pull this jalapeno out of her mouth. Hilarious. And the table next to us, I was like, she just had a jalapeno. And either way, so we had to take a walk and shake that one off. But yeah, Jumani's, I definitely recommend checking that one out. It's a good time. Keeping in track of kind of what's going on here in Albuquerque, a couple changes going on when it comes to real estate. We always want to talk about the real estate market. We don't want to dive too deep into it, make this too real estate heavy of a show, but I think there are some things that are worth discussing. As we get into the fall selling season, more inventory. Over the last 3 years, the whole mantra has been there's not enough inventory, prices are getting out of control. Now we're starting to see some downward pressure on interest rates, where we're now at the lowest interest rates we've had in over a year. And so that gives buyers more buying power, but also what's changing in the market is inventory's up about 30% from where we were this time last year. So now buyers are kind of, in a position where they don't have to rush to make decisions. They can kind of sit back and choose wisely and have more negotiating power. And we kind of talked about this on the news. Mark, keep that market update for us.
Good news for home buyers this morning. Inventory's on the rise. Interest rates are starting to take a dip. So we brought in Skip Adams of Sold by Skip to talk about it. Thank you for coming on.
Good morning, Danielle.
So let's start with the good news for buyers.
Yeah, well, as we transition out of that summer selling season, we get into the fall. And the main thing to talk about is that inventory is coming back, right? So inventory is up about 30% from where we were this time last year, which is good news for buyers. Now, our median home price is right around $360,000, also a little bit on the rise. But what we like to look at is our leading indicators, right? And one of those leading indicators would be pending home sales price per square foot.
Yeah.
Because the pending home sales this month are going to indicate what the closed sale price is going to be next month. And that's up about 3% from where we were this time last year.
What is that price per square foot that we should be looking
God,
for?
Each neighborhood's going to be a little bit different, right? But it does indicate that, levels of pricing has started to kind of level out. Yeah, there you go. So just to reiterate that, we're in a little bit of a changing market right now. So sellers will have to be very cautious about what they have in order to instill buyer confidence in their properties. And so we're going to go over some tips and tricks here as we roll into Skip's Tips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lady. That's right. It's Skip's Tips. Anything that saves us time, makes us more money, or allows us to have more fun, whether that's in real estate or in real life. The market's changing. Inventory seems to be growing. Actually, that sucks. Market's changing. Inventory's on the rise. So what does that mean? Buyers have more opportunities now when it comes to home buying. Here's 3 tips for sellers that will instill buyer confidence in your listing. Number 1. What is number 1? Number 1, we always recommend doing a pre-listing inspection. The inspector will go through and point out any defects in the property that you need to be aware of that you can fix to help instill buyer confidence when they go to make an offer on your property. Number 2, finish those incomplete DIY projects. Everybody has one of those rooms that's half painted, or we forgot to install the floorboards after we put in our new floors. Take the time and finish those projects so that your home shows in the best light possible. And Number 3, the last one is declutter and stage your home. Nobody wants to come through and see your old Halloween decorations or your family portraits. Put that stuff away and hire a professional stager in there to breathe some new life into your property. It'll translate better on pictures, and what'll happen is we'll get more buyers through the property competing against each other. And when buyers compete, the seller wins. To learn more about navigating this changing market, reach out and I'll walk you through our hassle-free process for buying and selling real estate here in Albuquerque. Share this with a friend and tell them Skip said so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So as we cruise along, here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. We're joined in studio by Kevin Maharaj, the CEO and founder of K9 Multimedia here in Albuquerque. He's got a great story in the fact that he built this company. They've gone viral, and they have over 50 million views. I mean, that's something that's impossible to do. Except on this show, follow us along on YouABQ for more tips and tricks. Stay tuned. This is all about you, ABQ. Welcome back to YouABQ. I'm Skip Adams, owner of Sold by Skip Real Estate Brokerage here in Albuquerque. We're joined in studio by Kevin and Sylus of K9 Multimedia. This is the only media outlet in New Mexico to have reached the YouTube Creator Award for 100,000 subs and over 50 million views. Kevin, Sylus, dude, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having us.
I appreciate you guys coming in, and it's kind of a cool story because you guys have a little studio right around the corner downtown where you guys do all of your production as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. You know, Albuquerque is slow to grow or slow to evolve our downtown. You know, and our co-hosts, myself and our co-hosts, are big proponents on kind of growing our downtown. But let's talk a little bit about, Kevin, your background, because you're from Toronto.
Yeah.
Dude, how in the hell did you end up in a place like Albuquerque from Toronto?
Well, like, you know, that's where I met my wife. At the time, it was my girlfriend, right? So she was from here. I met her on Instagram.
That's hot. I feel like that's where all the young kids are meeting these days,
Yeah.
is online. Sure. So you guys met in Toronto, and then what, she has roots here, or?
No, she's from here.
Oh, she's from here.
But I used to make music, bro. So like she like just DM'd me like, yo, I like your music, and we started talking.
That's hot.
Yeah. So then we just started talking. I met her. I think like I came down here, and then yeah, I just liked it out here, bro. It's like so much better. So at first I didn't really understand like what was better about it. Like I just knew I liked it. Like the first time I left, I was like, bro, like I really liked it. Is this censored? This is censored, right?
No, say whatever you want.
Okay, yeah. So almost cussed, bro. I really like this place, bro. So I left, and then like she eventually like kept talking. I think like I came down. I met her in Arizona because I was doing a show, and we had like a Southwest tour, and I was doing a show in Arizona, in Tucson. So she came out to do the Arizona stops with me, like Phoenix and Tucson. And whatever, we just kept going. And then we had a kid, and then we were raising the kid in Toronto. And then I just realized it's like better out here. It's like warm, you know, the houses are cheap. People are so much nicer, bro. Like, it's just like the opposite of a big city without being like country and rural.
Yeah.
Yeah, rural is like that's the right word, right? Rural. Yeah, like things are far apart here. That used to trip me out, but I realize they're not that far apart, you know?
It's just, it seems far apart because you can see forever here. Like the way Albuquerque is in a valley, like you can stand on one side of town and see all the way out to freaking Arizona.
Yeah.
You know?
That actually tripped me out when I first came here, and we were driving and we were like leaving town. I think we were going to Carlsbad, and I just seen like land. I never seen that before. Like being from Toronto, like you see land like ocean, you know? And in Toronto they have the Great Lakes, so you literally see the sky meet the lake, right? But when I seen that, I was like, bro, I'd never seen green and sky, like green and blue meet like that ever. It was like a trip.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
You're not alone. I think a lot of people from around the world are discovering Albuquerque. But Sylus, you grew up here.
I did, yeah.
What your backstory, though, also a music guy.
Yes, very heavily into music. I kind of just started when I was like 15, 16, just messing around in my room and like, you know, making beats on Ableton and, you know, things like that. And you know, worked on that like all of high school, and then kind of just fell into K9 when I graduated. You know, I was out for like a year or something like that.
Well, there's so many cool stories of you know, music producers getting discovered online on SoundCloud, whatever it is. Everybody's got my SoundCloud, but I think it's cool to see somebody really who, you know, that you were making beats and then found and connected with you guys, and then now you've got this whole partnership put together here with K9 Multimedia.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about where did K9 Multimedia even come from, and what do you guys specialize in?
Oh, we specialize in like digital media, right? So we do like advertising for companies. We also have a media studio center. So we have a recording studio where Sylus is a recording engineer. You know, we mainly produce like hip hop genre tracks. You know, we do singing and all that stuff as well. Then there's like the photo studio. We do live music events there, especially for the artists who like record.
Well, it's a kick-ass studio. Mark, do you have any pictures you can pull up on the website at least of kind of the studio? Because like you said, I mean, you guys have the recording studio, the video studio. You have like almost an event center that you can like hold happy hours, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's great. So what inspired you to get K9 Multimedia started in Albuquerque downtown?
Well, honestly, bro, like first I used to make music, so I was rapping, right? So when I first moved out here, I was still doing it, and it was like doing pretty good. So there was just no place to like really do anything out here that I liked that was like modern or something. Like everything was very traditional, and like we were looking for a studio to shoot a music video in, and we just couldn't find anything good. So I was like, yeah, that's it. If you click like event bookings, you should be able to see like the studio, you know. Let me see. Yeah, I see like live events and all that shit.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
Well, it's not uncommon for people that are from outside of Albuquerque, lived in bigger cities, to come to Albuquerque and just kind of go, well, why is nobody doing this? Hold on, I'll do it. And so many times the locals here are so quick to say, no, that's not going to work. That won't fly here in Albuquerque. And what we always like to do on the show is highlight the people that had the vision, came in and said, no, this is how we do it in the big city. This is going to take off here, and this will have some value.
Yeah. It's hard to kind of shift the perspective into people seeing it because it's a new concept. But I mean, now we're like doing pretty well at shifting that perspective. But at first it was like kind of like no one knew what was going on. Like it was like an untrusted thing. But when we tried to like show people it's a media center, we can do this, or you could come in and produce your own media. And it's like everyone tells me like it's a hub because there's been a lot of influencers and artists that have met each other there. You know, like probably most of the modern connections you see in the industry that's going on now, like those people have met at K9. I can probably guarantee it.
That's fantastic. And that's kind of what we try and do on our show here is provide some collaboration for business owners. But especially in the rap game and in the media game, it's like it is all about collaboration.
Yeah.
Because your specialty is, you know, music, running boards, cameras, whatever it is. And he's, you know, the freestyle rapper. So you guys need to, you know, you need to collaborate together. And I think that's great that you provide a platform to do that.
Yeah, thank you.
So how does it work? Is it like by membership? Do I buy like a monthly membership where I can go in and like, you know, get 10 hours a week on the?
Well, we're actually going to introduce a membership style, right? Where like it's a combination of all our services. We're still kind of working out the pricing and stuff, but it's interesting that you said that because that's like one of the next things, or the current things we're actually working on is loyalty cards and actual memberships. So we could do like a subscription and kind of get people into the studio, give them a discount, keep them creating because, you know, like a lot of the problem I see is that people just aren't creating as much as their need to be successful. So it's like going to the gym, you want to become a bodybuilder, and then you show up to the gym like once a week, bro. Like, what are you doing? You
it's
know?
just like, and you guys can speak to this, but being active on YouTube, you can't just put out one video a month and hope to get subscribers. You have to hit it consistently every week with some value and do it the right way. Do you feel as though in the creative industry that you're in that the creatives are more creative after hours? I mean, meaning, are you guys open from 9 to 5, or is you see a lot of action from like midnight to 2 in the morning? Guys just like, you know, vibing out, really.
However late Sylus wants to stay.
I mean, it really just depends, like person to person. But I feel like the most creative hours are either like early in the morning or later in the nighttime. You know what I mean? But inspiration strikes whenever. I mean, you can't really put a certain time frame on it, but I would say late night definitely takes it the most.
For me personally, I think first thing in the morning, when I hit that coffee, I'm really inspired and I like to like bang out all the work I can. And then the rest of the day, I'm like, no, I don't want to do anything. But then when night hits and everybody goes to bed, I'm like, oh, I could stay up for a few more hours and really bang out some stuff.
Yeah.
It's like knowing that you're not really supposed to, or that you could be going to sleep, and you're like, well, I'd be working, you know what I mean?
To make that money.
Something interesting about being downtown is that Sylus and I, or whoever else as well, will be in the studio working, you know, past like 12, 1 a.m. And then like hearing the clubs like go on. It's just like people drunk.
That
like,
could be your jam, dude, on the speakers, bro. Keep working.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and then we're just thinking like, we're here like putting in work, and it's kind of just cool to see like some people wasting time, and then like, it's like motivation for us to keep going, because right outside is like wasting time, and then right inside is
distraction.
productive,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like we could choose what side we want to be on. So it's kind of like you have a competition, whereas like if you just had an office in the middle of nowhere, like you'll just be bored. We have a competition to succeed, because you don't want to end up drunk on the street, you know.
And you see it every day when you walk out at like 3 a.m. You know, you could be leaving the club at 3 a.m. or you could be leaving work at 3 a.m.
And it gives you like
Up
a
to you.
fulfillment, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
oh,
well, that's
I
what
just
it's all
killed
worth.
it till 3 a.m. whilst they were wasting it, you know. And
Yeah.
it's not the best thing, but it's like it's people who are inspired by competition, you know.
Well,
For sure.
you guys have had some success. 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, as a guy who's on YouTube a lot, I mean, I think I'm hovering around 5,000 subscribers.
That's good though. Yeah.
But I mean, 100,000. So you actually got the plaque. You got the award.
Yeah.
What was that? I mean, because I always see like the unboxing online of you know the creator who got that first award. What is it? You start with silver and then goes to gold and then platinum or
Diamond. I think.
diamond.
Yeah.
Dr. Bo out here, he has a gold award.
That's wild.
Yeah, he's we actually kind of learned from him. You know, he like we did a music video with him, and Sylus recorded his songs and everything. He's really big out here. He's probably like one of the biggest influencers on YouTube, and just being around him, like kind of, we soaked up knowledge on like the YouTube game. You know, thumbnails, just being interesting, paying attention to the frames, the backgrounds, all that stuff, positioning, like. It doesn't seem like much when you just talk to someone, but like just picking up that knowledge is kind of where it's at.
Well, what I find is so hard, and is just because being a creator is one thing, but then you also have to be an expert in best times to upload, best keywords, best thumbnails. How do I edit this to work out?
Yeah.
You can't just be the guy just making beats. You have to understand camera lighting and freaking all that. So I think with K9 Multimedia, it sounds like you guys kind of have a whole one-stop shop where you can have somebody do your thumbnails for you, or at least show you out, so you're not spending 3 hours a day trying to figure that out.
Trying to figure that out, yeah.
You know, for a guy like me, that was one of the things that was crucial in my business is I had to hire a media team to handle the editing, because otherwise it's 3 a.m. and I'm trying to put clips together, and then I'm like, I got work, and you know what I mean? So you have to really delegate that.
You do, and that's what a lot of people out here don't see, is like a lot of business owners try to do their own social media, and they underestimate how much work it is, and it's like almost a complex, I think, to think that you would be great at something you have no experience with. You know, that's like me going in. You know, I don't need Sylus. I'll make this beat myself, bro. Get off the board. You know, it's stupid, bro. Like I can't do everything. So if you're gonna downplay and say like, oh, social media, like I could do it, like you're just frying yourself in the long run, because if someone in your industry is gonna hire the right people,
Yeah.
they're just gonna smoke you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like you'll be done.
Totally. No, that's great. So do you guys have any hiring events, networking events? I mean, are you guys looking to promote anything right now at K9?
You could go first if you have one.
Like events and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, I know you guys are always growing and kind of entertaining. But do you guys throw events to like get people into the door?
We used to do that a lot in the beginning, yeah, and that would be like a large source of our customer base, like especially recording studios. What we slowed down a lot now is live shows, because we don't do events. So when we did events, we would get obviously referrals for more events, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, as we were talking about before, like before we started, like downtown, you know, I gotta hire security, hire Sylus to be there all night, then cleaning people, then gotta worry about all kinds of kids trying to come in with guns, you know?
Oh
like,
yeah, things going missing too. You know.
Actually, you know what? Surprisingly, we've had like the craziest events there. We've never had anything stolen.
No, nice.
Yeah,
Not
never.
even a like ashtray or
Yeah,
anything.
nothing, not one.
It's funny how some people can be respectful of one thing, but then shoot up the front door. You're like,
Yeah,
wait.
Yeah, no, for real. Like someone broke our sink, but I've left my laptop out by accident during
Yeah.
events, all kinds of things, our phones, not one thing. And I always respected that about Albuquerque, is like, they say there's a lot of thieves out here, but in Toronto, if I left stuff unlocked, anything expensive's gone, bro. It's just gone. You know?
Yeah, totally. Write that off. It's a business expense. You guys doing any hiring events or anything like that?
Well, we just hired a new sales guy, you know?
Yeah.
We're going to be hiring more salespeople to hit the field and kind of like introduce to businesses like what we do, how we can help them, how it's essential to get into that now in 2024.
Well, I think it was great that you reached out to me, because it's the same thing, as a business owner, a TV show host, we're trying to, figure out how to grow our brand and how to make a difference here in the community.
Yeah.
like you said, it's a full-time job to set appointments, to schedule, to do sales, to get ads, to keep the lights on.
Yeah, because I used to do all the sales and outreach and everything, but it's like, bro, I can't do that and run the business and then like create a lot of the content. You're gonna have to get me some water.
Yeah, it's down the stairs to the bathroom.
Asked her for water and she shook her head no. Bro, get me some water.
No, well, we're just wrapping up here anyway. So, Kevin and Sylus, man, I appreciate you guys coming on. I think it's a cool story, starting a program here in Albuquerque, something different, right? Something that's going to make a difference in our community, and especially your community, for music producers, video producers, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we look forward to doing more work with you guys to help us go viral and connect with a different audience as well. Because we're big on a couple platforms, but that's only scratching the surface. So
yeah,
we'll rely heavy on your expertise. Important
to reach the youth. That's kind of what we specialize in. Like 18 to 35, I think, is our highest demographic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lot of youth, and sort of social media is that. It's like really trying to focus on them.
Yeah. Good. Well, we'll have links to all your websites and Instagrams and everything else. But Kevin and Sylus, man, I appreciate you guys coming through.
Thank you.
That's about it. We're going to wrap this one up on this week of YouABQ. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm Skip Adams, owner of Sold by Skip Real Estate. And again, you can see us every Sunday, Wednesday on the Education Channel 27, and then obviously worldwide on YouTube. Give us a like and a subscribe. And again, we'll see you next week. This is all about you, ABQ.
You're watching YouABQ.